Hi, and welcome to Season 4 of a new podcast from Northern Power Futures and United Utilities. If you're finishing school, at college or university, or thinking about starting an apprenticeship, an internship or a job, then this podcast is for you. In this season, we look at what your options are if you've just left school or college, and some of the concerns you have about how the disruption to your education might affect your future. We've been collecting your questions and then reaching out to experts and professionals to get some great advice, just for you. In this second episode, we're taking a look at some of the concerns you have about what happens next, from choosing further education or looking at alternatives, to questions about how best to learn. Let's get into it.
I'm wondering whether to defer my uni place because I'm worried it might just be virtual learning and I'd rather take a year off than have that. Would that be a good idea, or should I just get on with my degree?
Dawn McGrewer, digital marketing speaker, author and trainer. So you've got that all-important placement at university, you're all excited and you're due to start in September. But who could have predicted what 2020 had in store for us? I mean, it's just been catastrophic in so many ways. And it really has disheartened and changed the perception of many, many university students who are starting in September. But would you want to delay and wait a whole year to take the next steps on your future, to take a step closer to achieving the dream career or goals that you had in mind? Now, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, and in a few months' time, it could be completely different. We could be back to the normal ways of learning and back in classroom and living the university experience that you had in your mind's eye. Now, the worst that could happen is, yes, you're going to do your virtual learning, but this will give you a focus. You will feel that you are doing something and that you're working towards getting to the point that you are going to start your new job and graduate with one of the most amazing things, which is the degree that you set out to do. So, worst that can happen is that you maybe delay it for a year. I think the problem you'll have there is that we don't know what's going to happen. And will you get another placement? Will you get the opportunity again? Will you kick yourself if, for instance, we're back into the normal way of university in a couple of months' time? You might find that you absolutely love online learning and it's the way forward for you. So I think, go for it. Try it out. See what happens. And, it might be the best thing that you've ever done. Although it doesn't meet the expectations that you perhaps set out, it doesn't mean to say that it's not going to be one of the most amazing things you've ever done in your life.
My name is Katie Thompson. I'm based in York and I've run Katie Lingo, which is a freelance writing service since 2016. First of all, congratulations on getting your university place. Very difficult, particularly at the moment, so well done. Now, you might want to defer it because of the virtual learning. That's a totally valid concern. I think one of the most fundamental aspects of learning at university is the interactive element, being around your peers, discussing ideas, having one-on-one discussions with a lecturer. That's not to say that you can't get a full learning experience from a virtual platform. I myself am doing some virtual learning at the moment, and I would say it's definitely still helpful. However, I think when it comes to university, it is an all-encompassing experience. It's not just education, it's very much a social experience as well. And I just don't think you can get that from a virtual learning platform alone. So also consider that with this pandemic, everything is going to be delayed for a year. So I don't think that'll be at any disadvantage. If it were me personally, I would probably take this year out, just use this time to perhaps develop my skills, maybe take some free online learning courses, and then apply that to next year if you can still keep that place, because university offers you so many learning experiences and not just about your course. So good luck.
I've just finished my last year of university and had a job lined up which has now been withdrawn because of the pandemic, and they said I can reapply in 2021, but I don't know what to do until then. There aren't many entry-level positions around in finance.
Hi, Sam Price, Head of Client Engagement for the Mawson Group.
2020 is the year of plans not going how we thought they would. And I actually think that's quite liberating, because in a heartbeat you become quickly resilient to change, and that is a skill that will set you up for life and any future career. While some industries have, terminated their graduate opportunities this year, there are many industries that have flourished within the confines of the pandemic. Keep applying, keep looking out for things, but keep your mind open as to what the next opportunity may look like. That could be something as a call centre role, that could be something as an office manager, it could be a volunteering opportunity. You will get skills that will help you to thrive when that graduate role or graduate journey is ready to begin for you. It's just keeping an open mind and being resilient in the face of perhaps a few more no's than a pre-COVID business landscape would have offered.
Alison Fisher, Chief People Officer for Cox Automotive. I know it will be an extremely anxious time if you're leaving university and you were due to go into a role that is no longer there. My advice to you is don't be downhearted. There are still a lot of opportunities out there in the market. What I would say to you is don't be so tunnel visioned into your area of specialism straight away. If it means you need to just go and get different experiences for the next 12 or 18 months until the job market settles itself down, then do that. Be it volunteering, be it working in a different sector, or a different industry than you anticipated. All I'd say to you is just take the opportunities that come along. Don't cut yourself short. Just think it's got to be a certain level because you're a graduate. You should take any opportunity because you'll be surprised where those opportunities will actually lead. Good luck.
I got high enough grades to get a place at uni, but I haven't been accepted for student finance. Uni is going to be too expensive. I'm doing media production. Would I have time to also get a job to try and cover some costs, or would that be too much?
I'm Sophie Milliken and I'm MD at SRS Recruitment and Employability Experts. University is expensive, but most students do have a job whilst they're there. So whether it's part-time whilst they're studying or whether it's full-time during the holidays, that's not unusual. And actually I would encourage that, because whatever job you get, even if it's something that seems unrelated to your degree course or where you want to go with your future career, you will still actually be developing really useful transferable skills that will be relevant to whatever industry that you go in and will give you a bit of an advantage as well as the cash that you need for your future journey.
With the job market looking bleak, do you think an apprenticeship might be too high a risk? Would a college course be a safer bet?
Graham Lucas, the Managing Director for the Northern region of Michael Page. I think it's a good question, and I would certainly agree the job market will have its challenges throughout the remainder of this year and probably for the good chunk of next year. That said, I wouldn't view apprenticeships as too high risk, which is what you asked. I actually think there's some very real skill shortages in a number of industries across the UK, engineering, IT and many others. I think there's some great investment being driven through government schemes into trying to plug those gaps, and apprenticeships are playing a huge part in that. I don't see that investment waning too much, and I don't think from the employers that we've been talking to, too many businesses are going to be too short-term about this. I think they are still very future-minded around the fact that there are years' worth of work to try and plug some of these gaps. So I think if you can get yourself involved in a scheme, crack on and do that. I think it's a great thing to be getting involved in and a great way forward.
I did really well in some of my subjects, but not the subjects I expected. I now think I should consider doing a different college course, but all the work experience I had is in something else. Should I take a year out and build up new experience? Will colleges think I'm not taking it seriously if I just switch?
Lucy Wright, Social Media Account Manager at JMore Media. I think it's normal to consider changing your path, but at the same time I also think that work experience holds a lot more weight than grades. Personally, I don't think you need to change courses just because you got a higher grade elsewhere. If you're passionate about something, you love doing it, and you've got work experience in it, then you've already become a great, excellent candidate for a job in that field. I think you should consider which subject you would enjoy doing more, rather than which one you will get a better grade in.
Thanks so much for listening to this podcast from Northern Power Futures and United Utilities. A special thanks to everyone who sent us a question and to all the people who took time to give us their advice too. Do get in touch with us. You can find us online at northernpowerfutures.com or do reach out on social media. Find us on Instagram at Northern Power Futures or Twitter at NP_futures. If you would like some help with the problem you're facing, then just record your question and send it to us at hello@northernpowerfutures.com and you could be featured on a future episode. The Northern Power Futures podcast is a What Goes On media production.